Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center, to the world, the new world of magic and miracles and beyond. It's been a 2-week hiatus for me to be in front of this camera broadcasting, and I just have to say how amazing it feels to be back. It feels like a year just went by that I wasn't here in person. It was a wonderful 2 weeks. One of those, I was up north and I got snowed in, so I couldn't come back to work, let alone do anything with the computer. That's the way we didn't have an invitation. She had no power, no internet, and it was snowing and very cold. Thank goodness for a wood-burning stove in the house and a generator. It's really interesting when you are completely cut off like that and you're in that sort of an environment. There's a whole other level of magic that you feel when there's nothing that normally connects you. Besides, I did have a phone. I did have phone access, but no data on my phone. Could barely send text messages. But it was a little bit unnerving, I have to say. There have been times in my life when I love the quiet. This time it was because I felt like I had more, feeling like everything I do for the Advancement Center just felt a little bit odd. But beyond that, it was really quite amazing. And I felt very much the whole time I was there like I was in another, I was in another world. It was like I had gone into a completely different place, and I almost completely forgot about everything else. There was something that I had to do early on, and I just almost forgot until the last minute. Something signaled me. But even driving here this morning, I experienced stepping out the back door, as Simeon spoke about over a month ago now, and stepping into the world of your Creator, where there's no wondering about anything. You're just there. And what was really interesting is there were a number of obstacles to me getting here this morning, and I was pretty much convinced I wouldn't make it on time. I thought this broadcast would be late. So I'm in this other place, and when I came back and I looked at my GPS, and I guess I must have looked at it a few times, every time I looked, I was going to arrive here a minute earlier, and then a minute earlier, and then a minute earlier. The magic is amazing. It takes courage to step into that other world where there is nothing. Here we've become so used to having this sense of control over things. Even if it's not true, we still sense it. And when there's nothing, there's nothing. But there's not a lack of feeling a lack of control either. There's just nothing. But your ability to step into that world takes courage. And it's so rewarding when you do. I'm so excited for all of us to witness, each one of us in our own time, stepping into the world of our Creator, where there's nothing, and transmitting from that place to you here in this format, and to see the beauty and the strength and the gentle power and the wisdom that comes, that's been in existence for all eternity, and it will never leave. But to have this expression coming through these physical forms here on planet Earth at this time is extraordinary. It's just becoming clearer and clearer to me the important role that each and every one of us here at the Advancement Center in particular play in this incredible, exciting, shifting, new world. And I just bow to each and every one of you at what you are accomplishing. It's profound. It's beyond description. Sometimes it's beyond conception, really. It's the brain tries to analyze as soon as something is experienced, especially when it's quite profound. The brain wants to just jump right in there and figure it out. But don't bother. It will try. It's not necessary. It's just brilliant. It's beautiful. It's phenomenal. And it's fun. It's fun when you're out, such as I am, in the world with my job that I really do enjoy, because I enjoy people and children and animals, and I get it all. I get a lot of interaction. And I've been having fun. It just sort of dawned on me, I think, on the drive in, how a couple of things happened where they seemed small, so they didn't register really at the time. But for some reason on my drive in today, I had a flashback of these two women that were, one of them was holding her little dog and had come up to the podium for their car. And I had happened to be in the area. And I commented on her dog. I just love dogs and how cute it was. And she told me maybe I asked its name. And then out of nowhere, I found myself saying, she's a princess. And this woman just about jumped. She looked at me and she said, how do you know? That's what I call her. And like I said, at the time, it didn't feel like anything big. But then the next day, there was a couple staying at the hotel that were prominent. One of the leaders of the company that I work for. And of course, I was keeping my eye open in case they needed my service. And I saw them walk out the front door. So I just almost skipped over. I remember this very happy feeling I had. It was like a welcome. I was skipping over to welcome them and welcome them to the house car, because a lot of guests will come and not know about it, even though it may have been told to them. There's so much information they receive. They don't always register there's a house car. Well, both of them were absolutely stunned. Not only did they were they perplexed that I knew who they were? But the wife says, "How did you know? How did you know we were going somewhere?" And she wouldn't stop saying that, actually. And I didn't think anything of it, but until this morning, driving into work. And those are just two small examples. I know there's more. But it's this brilliance of existence where your awareness has expanded so much. It's kind of like radar. You just know things. And it's not a thought process. You're not even aware that you're having a moment of knowing something. It's part of this flow of your life. And it tickles people. And it makes them smile, and it takes them out of their normal, everyday experience, even if it's just for a moment. And it's really fun. And I wish that for all of you who may be watching today, who may watch 10 years from now, if these videos are still around. I'm sure the world will be a very different place 10 years from now. It's going to be a very different place tomorrow. So I just hope you're having as much fun as I am. And sometimes things just pop in as I sit here. It's kind of like there's something out there waving at you. Pick me. That happens to me a lot. There's a lot of things that fly around and sort of touch base as I'm sitting here and want to be expressed. And it just keeps still happening. So I'm going to share this experience with you. One morning when I woke up, there's no power. The generator has not been turned on yet, so it's very quiet. I'm the only one in the house. My mother has a second building. It's her studio where she chooses to sleep and spends most of her time. So I just walk out, and this house is so beautiful because it's got windows all the way around almost. And as I walk out of the downstairs bedroom and I'm walking towards the kitchen and the dining room, you get this beautiful view right up in her front yard with the drive that goes all the way to the road. There used to be vineyards up there just before you get to the road. It's a bit of an expanse. There's trees. Well, of course, now there's snow all over the ground. It's white everywhere. It's not melting like it has for the last 30 years she's lived there. It's staying snow-covered and deep. So I come out at 7 o'clock in the morning and hear are at least 4 deer, little ones, big ones, standing up halfway between the house and the road, just staring right in my direction. It's an interesting feeling. And I had this moment of, maybe I want to take a picture of this. So I turned to go back into the bedroom to get my phone. And as I get close to the bedroom door, you can see out the back deck, which is raised. The yard is below. And there's another, 3 or 4 deer standing, staring at me. So they were in front of me, they were behind me. And it was just the oddest feeling. I don't even see, I want to go into analysis, but it was so interesting. I've never been there before, where you're standing somewhere and you have all these beings just standing and staring at you, not moving, just staring. I almost felt like a meeting had been called. That's what I felt. And it was like they were waiting. They were waiting for me. I don't know what they were waiting for, but that was the feeling. Wow, I something very magical happened there. The time with my mother was brilliant. I'm going to start calling her Mountain Woman. She's in her mid-80s, past that, and she's still schlepping huge logs for the wood-burning stove off the back deck. She won't let me help. She's running around. She wants to cook me breakfast. She wants to cook me these beautiful dinners. Can I help? She's amazing to me. Like the Energizer Bunny. And it was the first or second night I was there at the house. And where the first time we got to actually settle in, and so it must have been the second night. And I introduced her to our favorite after dinner drink from Scotland called Drambuie. And we went somewhere together. I don't know if we've ever been before. I mean, we've had an extraordinary relationship for years, although in the last, anyway, it's been extraordinary. But there was a connection. There was something that happened. And she looked, not just looked, when I say that, I mean the inside and out. When you look and you feel the person, but it's both. She looked and felt absolutely amazing to me. The vitality, she didn't even actually seem, she definitely didn't seem her age. I mean, I could have taken decades off of her age by what I was experiencing with her. And she actually said to me, I'm getting younger. And it just made me so happy. But the depth of this connection was extraordinary. And I, again, started to go off into analysis, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to transmit it, and there it is. So there is such a huge new world just waiting for us. Because I feel that for those that are not quite awake yet or aware, their awareness is not moved, shifted. It happens at different speeds for different beings. There may be some that don't shift at all, but it could be right there in front of you. You can be swimming in the ocean of the new world and not even know if you've not yet gone through those doors. It's there right now for everyone. Just walk through. So I want to wish you all a happy, happy, happy New Year. It's extraordinary. It's the newest New Year I can ever remember. So I hope, once again, you celebrate every moment, every amazing miracle, discovery, awareness, anything that tickles you when you all of a sudden you have an awareness of something new or brilliant, or every one of those things is a reason to celebrate. So I lift my glass full of bubbly champagne and sparkles to each and every one of you as I wish you all a perfect life, perfect health, and the most brilliantly magic future. Thank you.